Hello everyone and welcome to the course on object-oriented programming methods. So today we will learn various types of functions. So basically these functions are classified mainly in two types. One is user-defined functions and second classification is built-in functions. So these built-in functions are basically available in the header files or DLL files. So we were not going to talk on built-in functions. Our today's topic is user-defined functions. So when you hear this term, that is user-defined functions, so it follows a syntax. So you already know that a function is used for performing various operations on data. The data can be integer data, the data can be float data, the data can be text or string data. The basic use of functions is to perform some type of function or operation on any data type. So let us understand the syntax of the function. So first comes return type. Okay, then followed by function name. First comes return type, followed by function name, then a round bracket, then parameters if any, and then the body of the function. So this is the general syntax for defining the function. Now let us take one example, that is, for example, return type could be void, return type could be of any of the form, either it can be void, or it can be integer, or it can be float, or it can be char. So you can have return type void, int, float, char, and other data types. You can return the objects, you can return structures, etc. Okay, so this is the return type. Void means the function will return nothing. Int means the function will return integer value. Float return type means the function will return the value with decimals. Character means a function will return only single character. Then function name, there are some rules to give this function name. This function name, this cannot be keyword. So you cannot keep a function name as void. You cannot keep a function name like your integer. You cannot keep function like for. Okay, so the words appearing in white color are all the keywords, right? You cannot keep the function name as any keyword. You can give function name like get data, you can give function name like display. As per the need, you can give the function name. Then third part of these functions are parameters. So parameters can be void, means no parameter is passed. Parameter can be int, parameter can be float, or parameters can be the combination of int, float, or float, etc. So you can have number of parameters, one parameter, two parameter, no parameter, four parameter, and so on. So I will explain one by one what is return type, what is the function name, and what are parameters with the help of an example. Okay, so let us see one function, that is, let us give one function, that is, let us say I am first writing void, means it will not return anything. Okay, then I am giving the function name as add, just say with no parameters. Okay, I am creating a function. So the curly bracket, this will indicate the start of the add function body. Then you have to give some variables. So let us take two variables for addition purpose. So let us create one integer a and b. Let us assign the value a is equals to 10 and b is equals to 20, suppose. You can also write cout, enter the value of a, enter the value of b, and then see in the values. Okay, but I am assigning these two values at compile time. So this is then cout addition of two numbers is equals to. So just create a variable addition. Addition is equals to a plus b. Okay, now you want to display the addition, so I am writing here cout addition. Okay, so this is the function body, right? So every time you call this function, it will display the addition of a is equal to 10 and b is equal to 20. Okay, now let us call this function. You have now created the function, but you have not called the function, right? So let us do clear screen. Okay, then how to call a function? Simply write this just by function name, round brackets 2, and call. So this is calling a function. Okay, now get ch. So what you did first, you have created the function body and you are simply calling this add function. Okay, so in this way this add function is called. If you put a return type over there, then it is like a definition, function definition. So you are simply calling it. You can see that only the function name is given. Okay, let us try to run the program, but before that we have to save it. Let us name it as function basic. Okay, basic function program. See, addition of two numbers is equal to 30. It is printing, correct? Now let us understand how this program works. So first of all, your program will always start with void main, because this is the first function which compiler calls. Okay, so after that it will clear the screen, then this add function will be called, then the program flow will go over this add function, then integer a, b, and addition will be declared. The value of 10 will be assigned to a, b becomes 20, addition is equals to a plus b, and then it will display the result. Okay, so in this way this program works. So in this case we have not returned any value, or neither we have passed any value, correct? So how to change this program? Okay, so let us see in this program what we have done. Return type we have kept as void. Okay, then parameters, no parameters were passed. Okay, so we are not passing any parameter. So you can either write void over here or you do not write anything. The meaning of void is nothing. Okay, so it is not returning anything, so void means empty. Okay, so even if you type void and I'm running the program, then again it has no effect on the program. The meaning of void is nothing. Even if you put it and even if you do not put it, it will not make any difference. Okay, so this is the program where return type is equals to void and parameter, no parameters were passed. Now we will see now what is the drawback of this program. The drawback of the program is every time you call the add function, it is not displaying anything, right? It will only display 30, but this will not be the case for every time, right? So you need to pass different variables, that is a may take value of 20, b may take value of 200 or any other value, right? So how to convert this program into that functionality? So we will simply pass two parameters, that is, let us say now I am passing 10 comma 20. How many parameters I have passed? Two parameters and both are integers. Okay, now as you are passing two values from main function, then while defining the function body you have to collect it into integers. Let us say integer x and integer y. Since you are passing integer value, you have to declare two variable inside this add. Okay, so you have declared x variable as integer and y variable again as integer. If you pass two values, then you have to collect here in two values. If you pass three values, then you have to collect here in three variables, right? So in this way this function works. Now what other changes are required in this case? Now in this case we are passing the values of x and y from the main function, right? So now only change I have to do that I need not need these two variables. Okay, instead of a plus b, okay, we will keep this as a plus b. I will simply write a over here and b over here, right? Now what is happening? The 10 will be assigned to integer a and 20 will be assigned to integer b. Okay, let us call this function now. There is one error. Parameter a is never used and parameter b is never used. Okay, undefined symbol addition. We have not defined this integer addition. Okay, so what was the error? Undefined symbol addition means this addition variable is not known to the compiler. So I have declared this over here. Let us save the program and run the program. You can see the addition of two numbers is equal to 30. Now let us change the value of 10 to 105. Now the program should display 125. Let us check it. See, now the program is displaying 125. So this can be called multiple times. Now suppose I am passing 102 plus 107, so not plus, comma 107. Now I am passing two values from from the add function. Now let us see what happens. See, addition of two numbers is 125. That was for the first add function, and addition of two numbers is equal to 209. That was for second call function. Okay. So you can have this add function, or you can use this add function multiple times in your program. You can also take the values which you are passing from the add function from the user. Let us see how to take that. So after clear screen, I will write cout, enter the two numbers. It is just like you want to add two numbers. The two numbers will be entered by the user. Okay. So for that I have to define two variables, integer a comma integer a comma b. So you have declared two variables a and b over here. Now, okay, that is to be done above this, integer a comma b. Now C in a and C in b. You can use both the methods. You can directly do like this also, C in a and b. But just for simplifying it, I am using two separate cin statements for a as well as b. Now instead of directly putting numbers over here, I will write a over here and b over here, right? So now it will be as per runtime. Before that we have assigned the values in during compile time. Now this will be a runtime assignment of values. Now let us see what happens. See, now it is asking user to enter values. Suppose I enter 23 and second number as 45, right? Let us see, addition of two numbers is 68. So in this way you can assign the values to variables during compile time or during runtime. Now this is the case where two parameters are passed. Okay, two parameters are passed, so you can have multiple parameters. So जितने parameters आप पास करोगे उतने ही parameters आपको collect करना है add function में अंदर, right? Now let us see what is return type. Okay, now let us change something. Now I do not want to display the addition over here, that is inside the function. I do not want that, right? I want this addition to be displayed here, that is outside the function. First of all, we will clear everything. Just to simplify it, I am not passing anything to this add function. Back to your first program, right? Now I want to return the value. Return का मतलब क्या है? It will send back the value of addition to the main function. Okay, so let us see this. Now suppose I am again declaring a comma b this, and you have done addition is equals to a plus b. Now how to return? So return is an inbuilt function, okay, which is known to compiler. So return what you want to return, addition. The addition is the variable name that you have given, and always remember you can return only one value. You cannot return two values. Okay, so one function can return only one value. One function can return only one value. Okay, now you are returning addition. Okay, now what changes you need to do over here? Now you are basically, let us understand the flow of the program. First of all, it will start with the main, then it will clear the content from the screen, then it will call the add function. Okay, then the control of the program will go towards add function. Okay, now the control will come inside the add function. Integer a, b and addition will be declared. Then addition will be performed, right? But for that we have to give a is equals to suppose 56 and b is equals to suppose 10. These two values are assigned during compile time. Then addition is performed. So here the value of addition will be equals to 66, right? 56 plus 10, 66. Okay, and now what this return function will do? This return function will return the value to a add function. Okay, वो add function से value वापस से भेजेगा जहां से वो call हुआ था. So कहां से call हुआ था? It was called from here, right? From the main function. So you need to create one more variable for collection. Suppose I am creating a variable integer that is collect. Okay, so you need to write collect is equal to add. Is what will happen? जो भी add function return करेगा value, that will get stored in this variable that is collect. Okay, now you will display cout addition is collect. अभी collect के अंदर जो भी value आएगा that will get displayed. Okay, let us try to run the program. Let us save the file, then run the file. Okay, there are two errors. Let us understand. Okay, one mistake was there in the program. Let us understand this error as well. What is the error? Add cannot return a value. Okay, so means you have to make that add function enable to return the value. How to do that? See, you have made a mistake over here. We have written void over here. Okay, void means it will return nothing. So that's why what data type it is returning? It is returning integer value. So now I have to change this void to int. Let us save it once again. And now I will try to run it. See, addition is 66. Let us try to change some variable. Let us say 66 now. Let us see what it is displaying. Now it is displaying 76, right? So in this way, this return type works. Okay, so let us suppose you want to return the float value. Okay, so let us see how it is, what is displaying. So for that, let us change the input. 66.5 कर देते हैं and 10.9 कर देते हैं. Let us check. It is again displaying 76 because addition is integer. So again we have to make this as float. Okay, let us run this. Now it is displaying 77, but again, where is the problem? Again, you have to change this to float, because अगर आपने कोई float value इंटीजर वैल्यू में असाइन किया तो डेसिमल will get truncated. So that's why you have to keep everything as float. See, now you are getting correct addition, that is 77.40. Okay. So in this way, this function works. Okay. Now let us understand again, once again, all these things with the help of a block diagram. You have seen the code. Just to simplify it, I am again explaining you this with the help of block diagram. So let us see, you have this created void add function over here, okay, with no parameters. Then you have created void main function, right? And you have called this add function from here, right? So whenever the program always starts with the void main, okay, the first command gets executed, whatever it is written in the void main. So let us understand this first. This block of code refers to your function body or function definition. This is calling a function. Okay. Now first of all, the program starts from here, that is the void main. Now as soon as this command gets executed, the flow of the program will go to here. Okay. Now the first statement executed, this statement executed, and this lines of codes are executed, and then after this body of function finishes, it again come back to here, right? So in this way this function works. Okay, so now let us once again see that. Now I have written, that is parameters are passed, that is void main, right? Not void main, void add. So integer a comma integer b. Okay, so I am declaring integer addition is equals to a plus b, and then I am displaying addition is equal to addition. Okay, now I am closing this bracket which completes the body of the function. Then I am creating the void main function, which is, first of all I am writing clear screen as usual, right? Now since there are two parameters in this case, you can see that there are parameter one is integer a and parameter second is integer b. Okay, and this comma basically separates these two parameters, right? So since there are two parameters inside the parenthesis of the function, you have to provide two values. That is, for example, while calling the function, you need to provide two values, that is maybe 10, 60 for example. If you provide less than or more than two values, the program will not run. It will give you an error. To avoid the error, you have to ensure that only two values are passed from the add function, and finally we will do get ch, right? So how this program will run? So first of all, program will start with the main function. Okay, then first of all it will clear the screen. Now whenever this add function is getting called, it will check whether the number of arguments are correct or not, right? So 10, 60, two arguments. So the program flow will go to here. Once the function is called, the program flow will go over here. Now in this case, A will be assigned to 10 and 60 will be assigned to B, right? Now next it will come inside the function body. Addition variable will be declared as integer data type. Now this addition will be performed. So, and finally the addition will be displayed. That is 60 plus 10, that is 70. After completing all the statements from the function body, it will again go back to this. It will wait for getting a character from the keyboard, and once any character is pressed or key is pressed, it will end the void main function and it will end the program, right? So in this way the parameter works. Okay, now first case we have seen where there were no arguments. Second case we have seen where there are two arguments. Now the third case we will see which refers to return type. Okay, so let us write once again this program. Now let us assume that it is returning integer. So instead of void, now I will write int. Okay, int add. Again we will take the same program, that is set 10, integer a comma integer b. Okay, again integer addition variable is created. Now addition will be performed. Addition is equals to a plus b. Okay, now I want to return the addition. Okay, so now I am returning the addition using return function, which is an inbuilt function. Okay, now this is complete. Function body is complete. Next is void main. First of all, as usual, CLR SCR. Now since the function is returning a value, right? So you have to collect that into a variable, right? So let us create int variable for collect. You can use any variable name. Okay, now collect is equals to add. In this way you have to call the function add. Okay, and now finally get ch or cout addition is equal to collect. Okay, right? So let us understand how this program works. First of all, as I already told you, that it will start with void main, then it will clear the content from the screen, then integer collect will be declared, then collect is equal to add 10, 65. Whenever you write such statements, this a will be, this add function will be called. Okay, the flow of the program will go to here. A will be assigned the value equal to 10 and B will be assigned the value of 65, right? Now it will come inside the body of the add function. Addition variable will be declared, then addition will take place, a plus b, and whatever will the addition, that is a 75, right, in this case. So this addition will be equal to 75 and this 75 value will be returned back to this function. Okay, that is the main meaning of this return. It will return the value, okay, to the calling function. Okay. Now this value of 75 will get assigned to this collect variable and this will get printed, right? So in this way this return type works. Okay, now let us understand the two functions. Okay, we will now take the example of say two functions. Okay, so now how that will work, so let us do that. So let us say I am now declaring this as float. So I am creating add function. Again, let us say integer a comma integer b. Okay. Now I am declaring float addition. Addition is equals to a plus b. Right. Now return addition. Okay. Now this completes. Now let us create one more function, that is subtract. Okay, let us do divide. Okay, divide function, again int a int b, or to avoid any confusion let us take it as c and d. Float division. Okay, now division is equals to, okay, we cannot create this in this case, it should be float this should be float. There will be no issue in addition, but there will be issue in division. In the previous video I have explained this, that whenever you are dividing any two values or two variables, to get correct division one of the two variables must be float type. Okay, so this is c by d for example, and then I am returning this division, right? So now I have returned two functions, right? So you can write multiple functions like this. Okay, now below that I am writing void main function. Okay, first of all clear screen, then let us take a is equals to suppose 10. Okay, we need to declare, we can call directly, there is no need to declare here. So I am calling, let us say I am first declaring two variables as float add, yeah, float collect, one collect and second for division. Okay, we will name this as collect add, right, comma collect division, just to keep this variable separate. Okay, so addition will be collected in collect add variable and division will be collected in collect division variable. Okay, now I have to call collect underscore add is equals to add. How many parameters are required? Two parameters. So I am passing, for example, 10.5 comma 63.5. Okay, right? Now it will display cout addition is equals to collect underscore add, right? This variable you need to display. Now similar to this, collect underscore division is equals to divide. How many parameters are required? 2. So let us say 3.6 comma 2.0. Okay, these two values will be passed. Then cout division is equals to collect underscore division. Okay, and finally get ch. Right, so let us now understand how this program will work with two functions. Okay, again it is very simple. First of all, it will start with void main, then it will clear the screen, then two variables will be declared for collecting the addition and division, then this will be the function add will be called. Okay, so the flow of program will go from here to here. Okay, now A will be assigned the value of 10.5 and B will be assigned with 63.5. Then addition variable will be created, then addition will be done and it will return the value of addition back to here. Now the addition will be collected in this variable collect underscore add and it will get displayed on the screen here. Similarly, after completing these statements, collect divide function will be called. C will be set as 3.6, D will be set as 2.0. Then it will come inside the body, then float division, then division will be equals to C by D and return division. So whatever will be the division, it will be again sent to here, right? So it will get collected in collect underscore division and it will be displayed at this stage. Okay, so in this way you can create your own function and make your complex program into a simple one by dividing it into a function. Okay, so I hope you have understood this part. If you have any queries, you can comment. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.